Welcome to channel. Today, we explore story filled with unexpected twists. Please, subscribe and like to stay updated. Let's begin. Hello, is this Miles Braxton? No, my name is Miles Thorne. My wife Sierra retained her maiden name, Braxton. Hello, this is Dr. Tariq Nejam. 5 months ago, your wife and I started an affair at Ridgeview Medical Center. Is this a joke? No, she was a good member of the 6th floor staff. Listen, I don't have time. My reason for calling is that I am ready to return to Jordan, and your wife left me about 5 weeks ago for a new doctor, Dr. Daniel Knox. I hope you are a strong guy who will take action. Wait a minute. How do I know you're speaking the truth? If you go to supply room 212 at North Point within the next 10 minutes, you should be able to see her and Jonathan in action. Sorry, but my aircraft is boarding. Good luck. Miles was astonished. Was his loving wife, the mother of his 13-year-old daughter, having an affair with another man? It was too difficult for him to believe. He was a quiet guy. His first thought was how to confirm or reject what he had heard. Then it dawned on Trevor. Trevor was Miles' neighbor and worked as a security guard at Ridgeview Medical Center, where his wife, a nurse, also worked. He phoned Trevor on the phone. Hello, Trevor Kane, security. How can I help? Trevor, this is Miles. Listen, are you at work? Yeah, I'm doing my rounds now. What's the matter? Maybe it's nothing, but some doctor just called me and said Sierra was having an affair. She and some other doctor are supposedly in supply room 212 right now. Is there any way to get in there and, if she's there, take pictures? Miles, are you sure about Sierra? No, that's why I need you to find out. Please, I need this favor. No problem. I definitely owe you for helping me rebuild my fence. I'm close to 304 now. I'll let you know what I find and send you pictures if I do. I really hope this isn't true. You and Brooke deserve better. Thank you. While Miles waited, he attempted to figure out what was occurring. Head dedicated his life to his wife and 13-year-old daughter. In 4 years, he constructed the home they lived in mainly with his own hands, making sure everything was just as his wife wanted it. As far as he knew, Sierra was content. Then he reflected on the previous 5 months. His wife began working longer hours and stayed overnight when she just had a few hours between shifts. Their sex life had diminished, as he anticipated given her work schedule, but she didn't complain and seemed to love their closeness as much as before. She would never risk their marriage or their daughter, Maddie. Would she? The wait was terrible. The telephone rang. Miles, I'm sorry, man, but your wife and Dr. Knox are going at it like two horny teenagers. I have photos and videos to send you. I don't think they noticed me. I'm really sorry. If you want me to do anything else for you, let me know. Miles sobbed for one of the few times in his life after viewing the video of his wife happily having an affair. Dad? Maddie? What are you doing over there? Go back to bed, honey. Everything is fine. I heard the phone ringing, and then I heard you crying. What's the matter? I'm 13 years old, Dad. I'm not a child. I need to know. Maddie was sophisticated beyond her years. Miles had a difficult time denying her anything since she always appeared to do the right thing. Upon consideration, he recognized that this circumstance impacted her just as much as it did him. I'm crying because I just received proof that your mother, how should I put this, loved another man at the hospital. I'm trying to figure out what to do. She's finishing work soon, and I think I should wait to talk to her. I don't think she'll be coming home today. I overheard her telling someone on the phone that she was happy they were going to spend the whole night together. I thought she meant work. I think you should call her right now. Let's see what she says. Okay. Maybe there's some good explanation. Miles was instructed not to contact Sierra on her mobile phone while she was working, unless it was an emergency. This is considered an emergency. After a few rings, a breathless voice responded. Miles, is something wrong with Maddie? You sound upset. You seem out of breath, honey. Are you okay? I didn't have my phone with me, so I had to run to get it. What's happened? The remembrance of the video recording took away any desire to comprehend. I thought you might have been short of breath because you just had an affair with Dr. Knox. After a lengthy pause, she responded, Oh crap. He knows. Don't worry, Jonathan. He'll take care of it. This message was addressed to another individual in the storeroom. Miles, I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but I'm glad you know now. This is definitely not the answer I expected. I love you and our marriage, but I work so hard. The life and death situations I have to deal with cause a lot of stress. I deserve something more to handle all this responsibility. That's it. A little extra intimacy on the side to reduce stress. There's nothing special about it. This does not affect our marriage or the fact that I am the mother of our daughter. I'm afraid I don't quite understand it that way. Look, I need to get back to work. That's how it is. You have two options. One, let everything be as it is. We continue to raise our daughter. You get a loving wife who gives you intimacy from time to time, but sometimes has fun with other men. Two, you file for divorce, and I get half of our assets, the house, and primary custody of Maddie. You will get every weekend and every other major holiday to visit your daughter. Here's how divorce works in our state. I guarantee Miles and Maddie sat at the kitchen table, staring at one another, their anger, disappointment, and despair competing for control. Well, Riles, I don't know what to do. I don't think I can live here knowing that your mom has affairs with other men. If I file for divorce, I won't be able to see you every day. I don't think at your age a judge would let you choose who you want to stay with. If I move out, do you think you can stay here with your mother? Hell no, Dad. Maddie, Dad, I'm already a big girl. If I have a choice, I want to be with you. Looks like we don't have much choice. Dad, there is another choice. Which? Burn this. What are you talking about? Remember my friend Emma? Well, her dad caught Emma's mom fooling around and just left. He took all the money he could and just disappeared. After some time, they caught him and arranged a terrible scam. You and I could leave her as little money as possible and just disappear. Miles found her concept highly reasonable. Where will we go? You know where. Her father considered Maddie's proposition. I don't think they'll take me back. You can ask. Miles had a glimpse of their homecoming. Maddie was the granddaughter of the Red River Tribal Territory's most regarded spiritual director. Miles left the tribe to join the army with his friend Elijah Greyhawk. He was an angry young man who disregarded his parents and people, and he was expelled from the tribe. After serving in Afghanistan, his anger subsided, and he reunited with his mother. During his time alone with Maddie, he informed her about her family, particularly her grandma. Over the last several years, his daughter had shown the ability to receive and understand visions. Sierra knew very little about his family or what he taught Maddie. He informed his wife he didn't want to speak about anything from his past before leaving the military, and Sierra asked few questions. Okay, I'll call your mom. She won't be back until after 5 hours tomorrow. We have a lot to do until then. Sierra and Jonathan were getting ready to head to work after spending the night together. Sierra was disappointed. Jonathan could have sex but didn't seem to know how to make love, something she acknowledged Miles was very excellent at. Her doctor lover was only helpful twice in 8 hours. She attempted to excite him a third time, but he refused. Her climaxes were false. Sierra knew that part of the joy of intimacy with Dr. Knox, like with Dr. Needham before him, was the hidden, unlawful aspect of their relationship. Miles realized that having sex with someone else wasn't really enjoyable. Sierra considered how she should break things with Jonathan and rebuild her friendship with Miles whenever she got a few minutes of free time during her Tuesday afternoon shift. After all, Jonathan's teacher wife would be relocating here with their 2 children once the school year concluded. Sierra might once again be an excellent wife, lover, and mother, and then, when things returned to normal at home, find someone else for herself. Miles would never reject closeness with her or endanger his access to Maddie. Sierra exited the hospital at the conclusion of her shift and went to her vehicle in the parking lot. From a few steps away, she saw that all 4 tires were punctured. How childish, she observed. Well, here's a plan for you to do something nice when I get home. She tried calling Miles on his mobile phone but got no response. She requested a coworker to lend her a phone. Sierra's call to her husband's phone prompted the message that this number is no longer available. So, you wanted to play dirty. Well, she could too. The threat of divorce alone might get him back on track, but she would have to watch him grovel. She dialed the phone again to summon a cab. On the walk home, she considered several methods to punish Miles. As Sierra approached her area, she observed a column of smoke, followed by fire vehicles and police cars. Looks like one of our neighbors had a fire. The closer the cab drove, the more she realized it wasn't her neighbor's home on fire, but her own. Sierra hopped out of the vehicle and told him to wait while she dashed to the home. The fire chief instructed her to keep away. But this is my home. Where are my husband and daughter? Are they all right? I think they're fine. Your neighbor said she saw them drive away right after they set fire to a pile of clothes. Sierra glanced out into the yard and saw a pile of her clothing on fire. There were several items on top of the pile. After a few seconds, she recognized they were her wedding albums. Photos from that overpriced wedding must have vanished into thin air. Looking around the house, she observed that, although the fire was under control, there was little remained of the home she loved. Sierra saw her next-door neighbor, Mrs. Langston, standing on the sidewalk. Mrs. Langston frowned. "They're gone. I hope you're happy now." "What are you talking about, Mrs. Langston?" "Miles and Maddie talked to me before they started the fire. They wanted to make sure my home was not in danger. They told me what you did. I can't believe you could treat this wonderful man and precious little girl so horribly. I hope it hurts you for a long time. It's just a misunderstanding." "Wait, are you saying that Miles started the fire?" "But he built this house with his own hands. This was our home. Our beautiful home. Where are they? Your husband told me that since he built this house, he could destroy it. It was just a house." Miles said a home stops being a home when you decided to stop being a wife and mother. "He burned the house. You burned the house down. Miles and Maddie are gone, honey. They plan to disappear to a place where you will never find them, and I hope they succeed." With these comments, Mrs. Langston shuffled away. Returning to the fire, the chief advised Sierra that it would be many days before they could declare the home safe and hunt for any items that had survived. He asked whether she may go someplace. After a moment, she said, "My parents." Back in the cab, Sierra provided the driver her parents' address. She had a lot of ideas running through her brain, mostly oscillating between two options. Miles would return and beg for forgiveness, and then construct a new, nicer home. Alternatively, after she discovered him, she would ruin him throughout the divorce. In the middle of her mental argument, they arrived at her parents' home. When she attempted to pay for the cab, the driver informed her that her card had been declined. She requested that the driver wait so she could get the money from her father. She rang the doorbell, and for the first time today, tears welled up in her eyes. Sierra required emotional support from her parents. Raymond opened the door, but just partially. "What do you want?" "Dad, it's me, Sierra. Let me in." "Something terrible happened, Miles. I know what happened. Miles and Maddie stopped here on their way out of town." "How could you?" "I loved him like the son I never had. Maddie is our only granddaughter. We raised you better than this. I'm afraid we can no longer consider you our daughter." "Dad, what are you talking about?" "It's just a misunderstanding. Miles will come back, and he'll sort everything out. Let me talk to Mom." "Misunderstanding? Is that what you kids call it now? How could you?" "I've seen the photographs." "Does he have photos?" "Oh my God. Where's Mom? I need to explain everything to her." The door did not open any wider. "Your mother is in bed. The doctor had to prescribe a sedative. We're lucky she didn't have a heart attack when she saw the photos. She doesn't want to see you anytime soon, if at all." The door closed. She lacked the confidence to beg for money for a cab. Sierra returned to the cab in tears. "Where now?" he inquired. "It must be somewhere where I can get money." Sierra concluded that her credit card was also invalid. After some deliberation, she provided the driver her younger sister's address. Sierra had a strained relationship with April, but her sister was a nice aunt to Maddie. April had a reputation as a troublemaker at school and fell out of favor with her parents. Sierra was unsure how she would be greeted, but April was her only family. This time, the door swung fully open. April had a knowing grin on her face. "Great. Good. I waited for you. Dad probably called you?" "No, Miles and Maddie came here on the way. I thought that Mom and Dad might not be receptive to their daughter cheating, since they still aren't too happy with their other daughter. Before we go in, can I ask you a big favor? Actually, 2 favors. There's something wrong with my credit card, and I need to pay for a taxi. And then, is it possible to stay with you for a while?" "Miles burned down your house?" April inquired after a little mental exchange. Sierra softened. "Okay. I guess I owe you one." "Thank you." Sierra questioned, after paying the taxi driver and reclining down on the couch in her sister's living room. "What did you mean when you said you owed me? I don't remember lending anything to you recently." "You didn't. This goes way back. I grew up in the shadow of Miss Goody Two-Shoes with her perfect grades, looks, and noble career. You made me sick. I was compared to you all the time, and I couldn't handle it. I became a failure, but it made me different from you, which is what I thought I wanted. Now you've made me the good daughter. Everyone loves Miles. How many times has he volunteered to use his carpentry skills to help one of your neighbors or some kind of charity group? This house was a shrine to you. And what did you do? You threw mud at him. Maddie was the most fantastic child I have ever known. I will miss her so much. You had the most loving, devoted, caring, patient husband, and you reward him by tearing out his heart and trampling on it. He'll tell you what. If Miles comes back, he'll beg him to be with me. As much as I enjoy a variety of lovers, I would give my life and become the most devoted lover or wife the world has ever seen. You are stupid, selfish, and arrogant. I hope you suffer as much as he does. Don't be so subtle about your feelings for me, Sierra said wryly. You don't understand how much pressure I was under, how stressed I was. I needed it, and I deserved it. So I got some extra sex. Nothing important. Miles blew it all out of proportion. He overreacted and will pay. You need to go to a psychotherapist. The planet you live on is several million light years away from the planet everyone else lives on. There's no way to forgive what you did. It wasn't just sex, it was adultery. It was betrayal. Besides, you told him that he had to accept the fact that he was cuckolded, or you would keep him away from your daughter. You might as well have cut off his genitals and forced him to wear them around his neck. No real man will put up with what you did. You can stay here for a while so I can enjoy your suffering. Well, at least now he can't do anything else. However, I can fight back. He took my daughter without my permission, and that's kidnapping. He will have to deal with the law. Let's see how he likes the bunkmates he gets in prison. Sierra had a restless night at her sister's. The next day, she departed to attempt to get her life in order. She noticed that everything that was formerly in both of their names was now in her name. Their joint bank account, mortgage, her vehicle loan, credit card, mobile phone, and so on. At least half of their entire assets were moved to her personal savings account, giving her enough money to locate a home and begin altering her clothing and personal goods. Toward the end of the day, she phoned the insurance company to report the incident and see what they needed to do to be paid. She was astonished to learn that Miles had canceled their homeowner's fire insurance. There would be no insurance for the home. Sierra discovered she just possessed the property on which the burning home stood. At least the home was paid off, so she didn't have to worry about repaying a mortgage on a property that no longer existed. She appeared to learn about something new every few minutes, for which she was solely accountable. She was not accustomed to dealing with such little issues. Miles took care of the technicalities. Sierra came to realize how much Miles had given to their life together. Sierra realized she had mixed up a missing persons report with a child abduction complaint. A missing person may only be reported 36 hours after their departure. However, an abduction could be reported right away. She visited the police station. When she indicated she wanted to report an abduction, the desk sergeant listened intently. Who was kidnapped? My 13-year-old daughter, Maddie Elaine Braxton. So, you are the mother? Yes, Sierra Dalton. Is there a father? Yes, Miles Thorne. He kidnapped her. The sergeant's tone soon shifted. Miles Thorne, the carpenter? So, this is a custody dispute, part of a divorce? No, he just took her and left. Didn't he burn down his house before leaving? A grin came on his face. Our house. He burned down our house. It's not funny. I'm sorry. Miles just made a lot of men happy with his daring gesture, especially those whose wives cheated on them. Wait, how do you know about this? I talked to the police who were at the fire. Plus, it's a small town. Rumors spread quickly. So, will you help me or not? Sierra inquired. I'll do my job, the desk sergeant mumbled to himself. It's a shame you didn't do yours. Miles built a ramp for my mother so she wouldn't have to go to a nursing home. They'll do my job, but don't expect any favors. While Sierra was furious, the sergeant collected the proper uniform form. Okay, now when did he allegedly kidnap his daughter? Somewhere between Sunday evening and 5:30 Monday evening. That's pretty vague. Well, I returned home after being on duty at the hospital only on Monday evening. That's when I found out. Do you have any idea where they might have gone? Not really. Miles never talked much about his family. He is Native American. He probably could have returned to the reservation. This is useful information. Which tribe and which reservation? I really do not know. There aren't that many tribes. Could you send out a patrol force, or whatever you call it, and ask the local police to look for him? I think there are more than 300 of them. You don't know much about Indian affairs, do you? Indian territories are almost the same as a foreign country. Most of them have their own system of government, so requests from whites are not treated in the same way as in other parts of the country. We could make flyers and see if the Interior Department would send them to the reservations. Do you know anything that could help narrow down my search? Not right away. Wait a minute. His boss served with Miles in the army. He might know something useful. Okay, go and talk to him. He might have a better reaction to you than the police. Meanwhile, do you have the latest photos of these two? Not with me. Miles was the one taking the pictures. Most were burned in the fire. Are you saying that you don't have a photo of your husband or daughter in your wallet or on your mobile phone? Wait, I have a photo of Maddie on my phone, although it's already several years old. Now she looks completely different. I think that tells us a lot about how you feel about your husband and daughter. He exhaled. Sorry, but I really like Miles. Surely your parents have some recent photographs. Bring them when you get them. I'm too busy to worry about keeping photos in my wallet. That's what albums are for. When Sierra returned to work for the first time after the fire, she noticed a difference in how others welcomed her. There were no grins. Nobody talked to her unless she spoke first. Staff who previously addressed her by her first name now addressed her by her surname. Sierra pulled Tina aside after numerous frosty exchanges. She had been working with Tina for more than 5 years and considered her a friend. What's going on, Tina? Why am I being treated like I'm toxic? That's a good description of how we feel. You're poisonous. We all know what you did with the doctors. We thought your husband must have known about it and was okay with it. Thank God he wasn't as weak as everyone thought. The head of security let us know what kind of person your husband was, a war hero and all that. And then there's your daughter, equally important. Doctors and nurses who fool around on duty put patients at risk. Several times I was unable to reach you when you were supposed to be on duty. One time, you even had to drop a meal tray on your face. Don't get me started. Either way, we'll do our job, but don't expect any favors from us. I'm over it. Tina went away. War hero? Miles was not a war hero. He is a carpenter, Sierra reasoned. Someone is spreading lies. Sierra wasn't working a day's shift the following day, so she went to Miles' supervisor, Derek. Sierra arrived into the construction firm parking lot and saw the spot in front of the office marked reserved for Derek Vaughn. She entered the building and approached the counter where Miles' supervisor stood. Hello, Derek. Is Miles working today? The building's supervisor said no. He came and quit on Monday. If you weren't such a good friend, I would have told him off for leaving without warning. After what he told me about what you did, I not only understand, but I support him 110%. Anything else? I'm busy. Do you have any idea where he and Maddie are? No. And if I had known, I wouldn't say. You don't understand what I owe this man. Derek hesitated, and Sierra believed she saw tears in his eyes. Someone said he was a war hero. Wasn't he just a carpenter in the army? That was his story to keep people at home from worrying, Derek said, grinning. He was on the reconnaissance team because he was a Native American. They considered him a scout. His job was to lead missions. Miles was the first to receive fire. Whatever guardian angel was watching over him must have been working double shifts. I can't tell you how many times he went into battle and came out without a scratch. He saved my ass several times. Did you know he earned both a bronze and a silver star? He didn't tell me anything about it, Sierra said. After a pause, she said, You mentioned he's Native American. Do you know what tribe or reservation he's from? Again, I don't know. I won't say. The only person he talked to about Indian affairs was his best buddy, Elijah Greyhawk. Where can I find him? Probably in the Eternal Skywatch camp. Elijah was killed just before he and Miles were due to return home. But it's not Mila's fault. He dragged Elijah's wounded body through the crossfire and then returned for the other two. Elijah was already too far gone by the time he was taken away. For this, Miles received the Silver Star. And now I really have to go. Sierra was thinking, great. Now I find out that I cheated on a war hero. At least it can't get any worse. Why didn't he ever tell me about his life before he left the army? I wish he was here to ask him. Damn, I was such a fool. When Sierra arrived at work the following day, she and Dr. Knox were summoned to the administrator's office. They said nothing to one another, thinking that the encounter would not be beneficial to them. Mr. Langford welcomed them curtly. It has come to my attention that you two were having intimate relations on hospital grounds during business hours. Apparently, I am the last person in the hospital who knows about this. When I first heard about it, I was inclined to place a letter of reprimand in your professional files. After calls from every hospital board member asking what I was going to do about this situation, it became clear that if I didn't fire you, I would be fired. In fact, my job is still so. You both stop working immediately. Security guards are waiting outside my door and will take you to your lockers to collect your personal items. In addition, you will both report to the licensing board for your profession. Based on previous similar cases, I believe your licenses will be suspended for at least 1 year. Hopefully, the sex was good enough to compensate for the shame and humiliation, not to mention the loss of income you both took on. Now get out of my office. As they were leaving, Jonathan approached Sierra. Your husband sent a letter and photos to my wife. Thank you very much. I never want to see you again. By the way, you may have a great body, but the sex wasn't that great. Sierra sighed once she finished unpacking her locker. No job. There is no home. No husband. No daughter. No friends. There is no familial support to speak of. All I've got is myself. What do I do now? Miles made a phone call while driving with Maddie. Hello, Stone Creek Reservation. Hello. Can I talk to Noah Stormwatch? Wait a minute. Who's calling? Perhaps it will be better if I don't tell. Okay, they'll see if he answers the call. The phone remained silent for perhaps a minute or two. This is Noah Stormwatch. Tell me who it is, or the call will end now. Noah, this is Miles Thorne. I want to come back. You have the nerve to call here? You are not welcome here. Wait, don't hang up. The Spirit Whisper's granddaughter is with me. Noah resumed after a little pause. How old is she? Does she show any abilities? Maddie is 13 years old and started having visions a couple of years ago. She was the one who saw us returning. You know that very few people would agree to take you back. I know, but I have changed. I was a brash, immature, stupid fool who had abandoned my family and people. I can only beg the tribe for forgiveness. They'll be honest with you, Noah said. If you didn't have a granddaughter of the Spirit Whisper, I wouldn't even raise the issue of your return to the council. There is still no guarantee that they will even agree to accept you. As you said, her name is Maddie. This is short for Rylan, my mother's Spirit Whisper. She foresaw that I would have a daughter, and she helped me overcome my unreasonable hatred of my family and my people. She knew she wouldn't be here to teach her granddaughter, so she told me something I could do before returning her to be trained by the elders. She is young but very mature for her age. I can talk to the council, Noah volunteered. Can you be here the day after tomorrow at 7 p.m.? What is your number so that I can tell for sure whether you will come or not? We are on the road that now goes north. We should be there by then. Miles gave Noah his number and hung up. Maddie attempted to soothe her father. Don't worry, Dad. Spirit Whisper will be with us. Miles got a call, and the council decided to meet with them as quickly as possible. The elders who recalled Spirit Whisper were compelling enough to enable Miles to present his case before the council. Miles and Maddie visited with the Stone Creek Tribal Council. Maddie captured the men's attention. Questions began flooding in. What powers did you experience? Do you agree to study with a healer, even if it means that you have to part with your father? Prove to us that you have the power of vision. Maddie was perplexed by these inquiries and provided brief, honest responses. She said she couldn't demonstrate any talents. She was thanked and freed. Autumn Sky, a healer, came and chatted with Maddie before the council meeting. What do you think about the abilities the little girl might have? One of the council members questioned. Spirit Whisper was my spirit guide, and I felt her presence many times. Her spirit is strong in her granddaughter, but there is too much of the white man in her now. It will take a lot of work to figure out if she might be a strong connection to the spirit world. Do you think we should let her stay? Definitely. I would welcome a challenge from the teacher, and she seems very eager to learn. However, she made it clear that she and her father had entered into a package deal. You will have to accept both into the tribe. Otherwise, she will not stay. After the healer departed, the council members unanimously agreed that the girl would remain, but they were hesitant to let Miles stay. Unable to reach an agreement, the council sought Noah's viewpoint. Noah offered them both to remain on the condition that Miles make an apology to the tribe. If Maddie demonstrates no aptitude, they should both be exiled. Miles deliberated for a long time about what type of contrite gesture would suffice. He knew how to perform carpentry, so he checked to see if the tribe needed anything built. He saw that the medical clinic was in bad shape. The structure was ancient and unclean, with plaster coming off the walls. People who were not ill before coming there are likely to get anything. A new clinic building would be my gesture, Miles reflected. The lady who taught Maddie assisted his daughter in determining the optimal location for recovery. The council then had to approve everything that needed to be done. The only thing left to do was create it. Miles devised a strategy. This was not difficult since he completed the majority of the clinic's construction while on business in Guatemala. This time, he had to purchase all of the stuff himself. Then he had to construct the clinic. The tribe had to watch Miles construct the clinic. He didn't ask for assistance. Nobody volunteered to assist. It took half a year to create, but it was done right. There was a blessing ceremony. Miles was then granted conditional permission to return to the tribe, but he remained on probation. Not everyone supported the decision to allow him to return. Miles was apprehended one night while heading back to his and Maddie's accommodations. He was stripped naked and beaten with green branches from a shrub with huge thorns. They will now not only pain, but also leave permanent scars. They wanted Miles to realize that his penalty for abandoning the group would continue forever. Miles did not weep the whole time. He limped toward the home, where Maddie administered ointment to his injuries. Maddie desired vengeance, but her father said that what they did was essential to convince certain people that he had been sufficiently punished. Several years have passed. Miles got work as a carpenter at a neighboring oil field in the city. He went to work every day with a group of other tribal males. The money was nice. During this time, flyers surfaced with old images of Miles and Maddie, claiming that they were missing. There was nothing said regarding the abduction. Then one day, flyers came announcing a $10,000 prize. Miles understood that many individuals on the reserve would likely give them up for considerably less money. Although Maddie no longer resembled her former portrait, Miles did. Maddie had browned and seemed to have transformed into a stunning 16-year-old girl. She was picked to assist in the sale of real native jewelry to visitors and casino players. Nobody appeared to be able to deny her. Maddie just prayed that no bidder would compel her to reveal that. Although the jewelry was crafted by genuine indigenous, it was born and raised in China. One day, Maddie approached her father and stated, "I had a vision that Mom would come." Miles realized that sooner or later, he'd have to deal with Sierra and her probable intention to kidnap Maddie. His emotions were complex and intense. "What do you think we should do?" Spirit whispered. Maddie's visionary powers had swiftly developed under the tribe's supervision, allowing her to adopt her grandmother's name, which was a huge honor. "It's time to sort this out," Maddie remarked. Miles sighed. "Maddie, I want to see her." "You must see her." The next week, Maddie sold jewelry to a group of visitors who had just stepped off a tour bus. She saw a blonde lady wandering around the gift store and knew who she was. Maddie approached the lady and said, "Don't you love the craftsmanship of these necklaces? They would curl wonderfully around the neck of such a pretty woman." The lady felt her heart flutter as she turned to face the adolescent girl. Something about this girl reminded her of Maddie, only she was taller, tanned, and had entirely different hair. "And yet, would you smile at me, princess?" Maddie grinned, revealing gorgeous white teeth. Sierra sighed. The Maddie she remembered had a wide gap between her front teeth. This girl's teeth were excellent. "Yes, I'd like to buy a necklace," Sierra said. Sierra was conversing with Maddie when she sensed a voice behind her. "Hello, Sierra. It's been a long time." Sierra didn't need to turn back. She knew precisely who was speaking to her. It was Miles. She closed her eyes, steeled herself, and then opened them, turning to welcome him. She was astonished to discover that his visage was considerably more serious than she had recalled. There was no grin on his face. She feared an even harsher response. She urgently wanted to embrace him, but there was nothing in his gaze that suggested he would be receptive. "Miles, I'm so glad to see you. I have so much to tell you, but please tell me where Maddie is. I'm dying to see her. Come back." Maddie remained standing there, but now she was smiling with tears in her eyes. "Hello, Mom. I missed you." Tight embraces and more tears ensued. "I missed you too, honey. You've grown so much. You are simply amazing. I can't believe I sent you both away. I'm very sorry. Very sorry." More hugs. More tears. Sierra finally turned to Miles and stated, "I'm not here to reopen old wounds. I just want to be able to apologize and spend as much time with Maddie as possible. Are you going to try to take her with you?" "No. I don't want to ruin your life again. I just want to be with Maddie for as long as you let me." "What about your job and boyfriend or husband?" "When I was sure you two were here, I quit my job and put my things in storage. Since you left, I haven't had a boyfriend or husband. I dated some, but no relationships worked out. You taught me a harsh lesson, but I deserve it. I haven't been with anyone since you left. I didn't want to start a new relationship until I healed from my old one. I didn't start a new relationship either. The reason is that I was afraid that I could no longer trust a woman. It didn't work the first time. By the way, we're divorced, aren't we?" "Yes, I had to file for divorce to get government benefits that I needed to survive after my nursing license was suspended." "Are you no longer a nurse?" "A year later, my license was returned. It was difficult to find a job that paid as well as what I was earning before, but I was able to support myself and save some money. I even went back to school and got my APRN. Is there anything Maddie needs that you'll let me buy for her?" Miles seemed insulted. "No. Maddie has everything she needs and almost everything she wants. She's already a teenager. Maddie joined the discussion. Mom, you won't stay for long, right? It's up to you two to decide. I have a room booked at the Cedar Hollow Lodge. Ah, that place is full of bed bugs. You will stay with us, Maddie said firmly. No, I can't force myself on you and your father, baby. First of all, I'm not a child, and we have a spare bedroom. Now, let's get your luggage. No, I need to talk to your father first. Maddie and I have already discussed everything, Miles interrupted. It will be much easier for you to spend time with Maddie if you live with us. I trust you understand that this does not mean any renewal of the relationship between you and me. You will be there as Maddie's mother and nothing more. Certainly, I understand. I hope you'll let me help with cooking and other things. I won't feel good if I don't stay useful. Few things could make up for your cooking, Maddie laughed. Sorry, Mom, but your cooking sucks. After all three laughed, Miles instructed Sierra to go to her room while he drove up in the truck to pick her up and her belongings. The journey was brief, as they traveled through the tourist section of the reserve before arriving at one of the residential quarters. They came to a halt in front of a home, which, like the ones surrounding it, had a Western Plains motif. Inside, wooden and native decor predominated. Miles moved Sierra's bags into the spare bedroom. Sierra glanced around the room and realized that it had a very feminine air. Is this your room, Maddie? It was Juniper's room, Maddie said. She's my father's cousin, who helped us until we needed to take care of ourselves. I'm big enough now that we don't need much help to take care of me, but it would be nice if you could help a little. Sierra gasped as tears filled her eyes. I'm so glad to see you again, Mom. Miles stepped out of the room to give them space, but Sierra cried out, Miles, I need to talk to you first. You may not want to listen to what I have to say, but I have to say it. Her ex-husband said nothing and just stood there. I denied for a long time that I had done anything wrong, even though everyone, and I mean everyone, told me that I had seriously screwed up. It was only when my mother finally spoke to me that it dawned on me. Seeing the tears and suffering I put her, my own daughter, through, and being the reason she couldn't see her only granddaughter, finally, I couldn't stand it anymore. I went to see a therapist and began to become what I hope is a better person. I know these are just Miles remained standing, expressionless. In his thoughts, he told himself, she's correct about one thing. They're just words. Maddie wants her here, so I will put up with Sierra for as long as I can. As the weeks went, her schedule sank into the home in a manner that appeared to work for everyone. Sierra handled the most of the chores and spent a lot of time getting to know Maddie and learning about the tribe. Sierra was cautious not to reveal Miles any private portions of her body or make any flirtatious advances. The talks around the dinner table were similar to those from their previous lives, albeit Sierra's work schedule as a nurse in their previous existence sometimes prohibited them from being together. Sierra approached Miles one evening and asked if they could chat. I've been here for about a month now, and I've enjoyed every minute I've spent with you and Maddie. I think it's time to talk about where we will go next. You're not going to take Maddie back where we came from? Miles said fiercely. No, I won't. Hell no, Miles, that's not at all what I'm saying. I don't want to leave with Maddie. That's not at all what I'm saying. I mean, I can't continue living off of you too. I think, first of all, I need a job. I talked to the people at the reservation clinic, and they offered me a job. Long hours and low pay. How could I refuse? Sierra attempted to lighten the situation, but Miles' face did not alter. It's time to talk about whether I need to get my own home. Don't you like it here? I like it here. I just don't know if you like my presence or not. We both probably have good and bad memories from the time we were married, but watching you, I couldn't understand whether you wanted me to stay here. Sometimes you look happy, and sometimes you look like a man who is ready to burn down the house he built with his own hands. I'm asking what you think would be better. Miles didn't let himself worry about the future. He seized each moment on its own. His heart was guarded against ever trusting her again. Sierra, on the other hand, seemed to have changed significantly and was as good as she had been when they married. I think I need to think a little more. Maybe it would be easier for you to make a decision if I weren't here. There's a room for rent in Wyoming that I can afford, and it's not that far away. Tomorrow, I will move my things there. Whatever you decide, I want you to know that I will always be grateful to you and Maddie for allowing me to be a part of your life again, even though I can't say I have the right to. Later that night, Sierra awoke to the sound of weeping. Ignoring the fact that she was just wearing a little nightgown, she dashed inside Maddie's bedroom. She opened the door to see her daughter fast sleeping. She turned back and noticed the weeping was coming from Miles' bedroom. Sierra approached the door with caution. The door silently opened, and she found Miles sitting on the side of the bed in his boxers, clutching his head and weeping. She came over, sat next to him, and started crying as well. Miles, what's the matter? Honey, is there anything I can do? My presence here is only making things worse. Sierra slid her palm down his back, feeling the countless scars she hadn't noticed before. Oh God, Miles. What happened? It was part of what I had to go through to get back into the tribe's good graces. Horrible. It's all my fault. None of this would have happened if I had just been faithful. I thought I suffered a lot, but I was never physically punished. I'm sorry, baby. Please tell me what I can do to make things better. After taking several long breaths to calm himself, Miles said, I don't deserve this. You want to stay here. I can't stand it anymore. It's just too hard. I'm really sorry I hurt you in ways I never could have imagined. I'm such a fool. I'll leave first thing in the morning. I'm really sorry. She got up to return to her room, but Miles grabbed her hand. My problem is that I can't be around you now without wanting to be with you like I did when we were married. You're so beautiful, and I keep thinking about the times we made love and just sat and held each other. My heart literally hurts when I see you, and the part of me that hated you for betraying our family is slowly being eaten away. I know that's not what you came here for, so I think it's best if you go home. It was unbearable for me to know that you were nearby, and I promise that Maddie will be able to come for a long time, and you will be a welcome guest here any time you want. Sierra also started to weep. She gathered her strength and said, Miles, I wasn't sure what I wanted from you when I came here. I couldn't believe that you could ever forgive me. I've been praying for a long time that you and Maddie would give me another chance. I want to stay. I want, with all my heart, to be your wife again, and I promise, to never again give you a reason to doubt my love and devotion. If you want me to leave, I will leave, but that's not what I want to do. Miles was quiet. Sierra progressed from embracing to kissing, attempting to reveal as many of his scars as possible. She finally went for his face and held his head in her hands. Her hands and kisses were better than he had recalled. He caved in and returned the kiss with intensity. The pair spent many minutes hugging, crying, laughing, and kissing. A new routine had started. Miles continued to work as a carpenter, while Sierra worked long hours owing to a lack of nursing assistance. Remarriage was not discussed. Sierra paid her half from other bank accounts. Although she and Miles slept together again, she utilized the spare bedroom on evenings when she arrived home late and exhausted. This was the simplest thing to accomplish. Maddie attended school and continued to engage with her spiritual director. In some ways, it seemed like the old days were returning, but with a Native American twist. This should have served as a warning. Old bad behaviors reappeared alongside old good ones. Miles left home early one day because of the inclement weather and the lack of inside construction work. He was waiting to meet Maddie when she got home. Hey, Maddie, you're a little late, aren't you? Have you stayed anywhere? Yes, Dad. We need to talk. I don't like the sound of that. Problems with a boy? No. Problems with a woman. Miles' initial assumption was that she would come out as a lesbian, which he swiftly disregarded. She spoke too much about guys. What or who do you mean? It's Mom. Again. Miles felt horror in his heart. No, not again. Did you see something in a vision? No, this time with my own eyes. I went to my mother's clinic for a minute and saw her leaving the room with Dr. Sahil Mehra. He forgot to zip up, and Mom was wiping something from her mouth. I went to the front door, opened it, but didn't come out. Mom greeted me, and we talked a little. She looked damn guilty. We said goodbye, and I again pretended to leave. I was standing right outside her office door when she said to Dr. Sahil Mehra. Miles retreated inside himself, as he often did in difficult circumstances. Maddie shifted the topic, discussing visions. I'm losing my strength. Looks like puberty might mess them up. My spiritual director warned me about this. Soon, I will be useless to the tribe. You know, some council members will want to kick us out. I've enjoyed our time here, but I think we can leave without feeling guilty. I've made some good friends, but you're the only one I can't lose. So, you think it's time to leave again? Absolutely. Right. Where to this time? Hawaii sounds good. They probably need carpenters there, Miles said, smiling. I don't think there's a Stone Creek reservation there, Maddie said, smiling. Then we can begin. When do we leave? Miles inquired. As soon as we get ready. Oh, I have one request, Maddie said. Miles guessed and gave his view. Oh no, not this. Please. It was so fun. Okay. But we have to be careful, and this time we take all our money. She is what she is on her own account. Sierra heard the siren cry. A recent talk with Maddie helped her reach the required conclusions. She dashed out of the clinic and hurried to the home she lived with Miles and Maddie. She made the correct choice. After all, Maddie had seen her with Dr. Sahomera. Damn, how could I be so selfish and arrogant again? Thanks for watching. Did Miles make the correct choice by leaving Sierra for good? Or do you feel that everyone deserves another chance? Please share your ideas in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more compelling tales.